assuming that you're here because you want to know about what I did to personally get into the Ivy Leagues, or you're an underclassman and you're wondering what you could do to improve your application. Whatever the reason, I'm glad that you're here and that you're watching. I hope that I can share some useful information for you and help you with your application. That being said, if you're here and it's not for those reasons and it's just to spread hate in any form, you don't have to watch this. Like, it's Coronication. You could be doing anything else. So if you don't want to watch this, you really don't have to, I promise. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoy the video and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so I know a lot of people were interested in my stats in regards to what my GPA was, what were my ACT scores like. So I'm happy to share that. I have my transcript pulled up right here, so I'm not going through like the semester grades because that would just take forever. I'm just gonna go through the final grades. So, freshman year. Freshman year, I took H2 English. Final grade was a 98. I took honors biology and I got a final grade of an 88. I took honors geometry, final grade of a 90. I took just like H2 social studies, whatever it was that year. Final grade was a 90 in that class. Took honors Spanish, final grade 90. So this is like my transfer transcript. So it just says transfer practical art H2. I really don't remember what that class was, but my final grade was a 90. I have no idea what that class was, but that was freshman year in my old school, so. For gym, my final grade was a 90. And can I just explain that real quick? So I was a track athlete all 4 years of high school. This one gym teacher, like, I don't know what he had against me, but I would miss like gym classes because it was the last period of the day. And if we were traveling for meets, we would get let out early. Every other gym teacher would just let their like track people like leave whatever they had to do. I literally had to go to gym makeups after school. Like, I had to miss some of my track practices to go and make up gym classes. I'm still mad about it to this day, but I ended with a 90, whatever. And then I took this class called Intro to Biomedical Sciences. It was weighted at an honors level, as it should be. That class was very, very difficult. And my final grade was an 85 for that. And that concludes my freshman year grades. Moving on to sophomore year. So sophomore year, I took H2 English, final grade 92. Honors Algebra 2, final grade 85. Took H2 Chemistry, final grade 95. H2 World History, final grade 94. Honors Spanish, final grade 97. Intro to Business Law, got a final grade of a 96. Early Childhood, final grade 99. Health, 100. And Gym, 94. That includes my sophomore year grades. On to junior year. Honors English, I ended with a 91. I took this class called AP Seminar. It was basically like a class about research. We wrote a lot of essays, did a lot of presentations. Final grade was a 94. Honors Pre-Calc, that class was hard, but I ended with an 83. Perfectly happy with that. AP Physics, I still have terrible flashbacks from saying those words. Final grade 81. H2 History, junior year, 94. I started mock trial this year and got a final grade of a 95. Honors Spanish, final grade of a 93. So I'm a senior now. We don't have final grades yet, but I do have my semester averages pulled up here. I'm taking H2 English. My semester grade was an 88. I'm taking AP Calculus AB. My semester grade was a 95. I'm taking Honors Anatomy and Physiology, semester average 97. AP Psychology, got a 97. I'm taking mock trial again this year, and I had an average of a 91. And then finally, digital filmmaking, where I got an average grade of 96. So, those were all of my grades. So, putting all those into account, my GPA as of right now is a 3.89. So, that's pretty awesome. That's my weighted GPA. ACT and SAT scores. I took both the SAT. I took the ACT as well. I did better on the ACT. I took it maybe like 3 times, I think. My highest composite score was a 30, and then my super score was a 31. So that covers all my stats. Now I want to get to what I think would be the more interesting part of this video, and that is my tips, because I'm being very genuine with these, and I think that you will learn more from my personal tips rather than my grades, I promise. You want to challenge yourself, but also be able to manage your coursework. So I would encourage you to take the AP classes that you can, take the AP classes that are available, but, and I learned this, if you're taking an AP class in something that you're not interested in, it could be a waste of time, and you could be making your life harder than it has to be. I say definitely take AP classes. I loved my AP classes, most of them. But take the AP classes in fields that like you think you're going to be interested in going in. So I recommend, if you're thinking about pre-med, take AP Bio, take AP Chem. If you're interested in going pre-law, take AP Gov, take APUSH. You can challenge yourself. I mean, I took AP Physics just because my friends told me that they were doing it, and I was like, oh, everyone's taking this class, maybe I should. Don't do that. Oh, I also recommend taking AP Stats. I did not take that class, but I regret doing that. I wish I would have taken that class. So what I would say is it is better to get like a B in an AP class than an A and an H2 class, because it shows that you're challenging yourself and you're preparing yourself for what classes in college are going to be like. So that is very attractive on an application. So I would just say don't be afraid to take the harder classes. A lot of my friends I know started taking like the ACT and the SAT junior year. My dad had me start sophomore year, like fall of sophomore year. And I would encourage that you guys do that as well. The sooner you can get a feel for these tests, the better. The more comfortable you are and more familiar with the types of questions that are being asked, it only works to your advantage. So I say, if I know some people, like financially, they're not able to take a billion tests like that, and I completely understand that. But I'm saying that if you are in a position where you can take the test multiple times, I would start taking it as early as possible. And I would recommend taking it multiple times, even if you do get a good score. If you get a great score the first time, I mean, if it's perfect, obviously you wouldn't need to take it again. But if you get a good score the first time, I would recommend you take it again, because at least one more time, because you can always do better. If you study a little bit more, you can always do better. So I do encourage you to start taking the SAT, ACT as early as sophomore year to get familiar with those tests, because it really works to your advantage. You want to start your high school resume as early as freshman year. I didn't know this at the time, but my dad like had already started my resume for me. I didn't know what it was freshman year, so I couldn't start it. But my dad, he's been through this before. He knows what you have to do for high school. So I already knew that by the time college applications would be coming around, I would have to submit a resume for some of these schools. So freshman year, I know he started keeping track of what activities I did. So I would encourage you guys, freshmen, rising middle schoolers, like as early as freshman year, just keep, it doesn't even have to be a formal resume, just keep a list, a Google Docs of all the activities you've done, any charity events, like literally anything that you've done, like keep track of it. Because if you have to, junior year, you're walking in, you have to remember things that you did freshman year, you may not remember everything. And making a resume is a skill that you're gonna utilize multiple times in life. You're gonna need a resume for college, for jobs, future careers. So you definitely wanna learn how to make one as early as possible. I know a lot of you in the summer, you just want to travel, you want to relax. That was not really how my summers went growing up. Obviously, like I was able to go on vacations and stuff, but most of my summers were filled with enrichment. I went to so many like college, pre-college programs. I did one at West Point. I did one at Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, Harvard. That's all I can remember at the top of my head. Those programs are so helpful in regards to giving you a feel of what the school is like, and just like it helps you decide whether the school is a fit for you. I highly recommend these programs. And you get to meet so many different people, so many smart, qualified people. It really is an amazing experience. And I really, really recommend doing this. I would say, I think I started doing them like middle school, like for fun. I went to like a West Point STEM camp, but then I went to the pre-college programs. Look for pre-college programs. I know some of them are kind of costly. The Harvard one was, but the West Point and the Service Academy ones, I'm pretty sure were free. You just have to like write some essays and stuff to apply. But yes, I encourage this a lot. So I know a lot of people are worried about the whole, colleges want to see that you're a well-rounded individual. And I feel that a lot of people are pressured to join every club and every activity to prove how well-rounded they are. And you don't need to do that. Pick a few things that you're genuinely interested in and show that you're passionate about those things. Let me see. So I did fitness team. I did gymnastics until freshman year. I ran on the track team. So sports were always a part of my life. That was there. So that was like a part of my personality. For track, I won like some conference awards. I placed at states. So they like to see that you're doing stuff. And not only are you doing the activities, but you're good at it and you're making a name for yourself within them. So like presidents, like leadership positions in clubs, my leadership positions were, I was a freshman mentor, captain of the track team, an assistant dance teacher at my dance studio. So like things like that. They want to see that like you're passionate about something. Do the optional essays. I don't know how hard to stress this. I'm going to use Harvard as an example. So all the other like Ivy Leagues had all of these supplementals that you had to do. It was insane. And I go to my Harvard application and they only require the Common App, but this other essay is optional. Okay, that's too good to be true. Harvard is a very, very prestigious university. There's no way that that essay is optional. Like they say it's optional, but it's almost like a test. They want to see that you're one of those people who will go the extra mile and do more than what is required, because that's what they look for in their students. They want to see that they go above and beyond. So I highly encourage, for any college, if you see optional for an essay, I would do it, because you really can't go wrong with doing it. You're only giving yourself another opportunity to express more about who you are. For my optional essay for Harvard, I wrote about how much the military community has had a huge role in my life. That like shined in areas where I went to those pre-college programs. I explained how many freaking times I had to move all over. And I was able to show how that early exposure to the military community contributed to my interest in wanting to do Air Force ROTC. So it all tied together, and it really showed that I was actually interested in something, I was passionate in something, and I was able to prove that. Do the optional essays. Please do the optional essays. My final piece of advice is that if you're in a position where you're not sure if you should apply to certain schools because you're not sure if you're qualified enough, or there are people telling you, oh, that's a reach school, like there's no way you're going to be able to go there, just apply. I can't stress how many times people underestimated what I was able to do, and they're like, there's no way you're going to get into these schools. But you really don't know unless you try. These schools might have a 10% acceptance rate or lower, but the acceptance rate is 0 if you never even apply. You know what I mean? So you have better chances of applying than not. Don't let anyone get to you and convince you that you can't make it. I started to do that myself, and I regret it entirely. I applied to 10 schools, and I originally had 20 on my list. That's 10 more schools that I could have had as an option. But I chose not to pursue them because I let a lot of people get in my head. And these Ivy Leagues that I applied to, when I tell you I was so close to not even applying at all because I was so scared and letting people convince me that like I would not be able to do it, don't listen to those people. Okay, I would just let your application speak for itself. Apply. Please just apply, because you never know if you're going to get in if you don't do it. That is my biggest piece of advice I have today. So I'm going to wrap up this video because that's all the tips I had planned. I just want to say I am not the perfect student. I'm just going to say I'm not perfect, but my application spoke for itself. They saw something in me, and that's how I got to where I am today. I'm hoping to make huge contributions within all the communities that I will be in there. That is my biggest goal. I want to leave an impact some way, somehow. I would say put all of your effort into your applications. Juniors, you guys have plenty of time to even start like working on your essays. Actually, I should have put that in there. Start your essays early. Start your essays early. You will thank yourself in the future if you get a head start now. I would recommend like starting a bulleted list of some of your interests, some topics that you are interested in discussing and that you're comfortable with sharing. But I'd say apply to where you want to apply. Hope for the best. If you get in, that's amazing. If you don't get in, and that's completely fine too. Your chances of getting in if you don't turn in an application is 0. Your chances are better if you do turn in an application. Please remember that. Good luck to everyone on their personal application processes, and I really, really hope that this video helped you, especially gain some confidence, because there were not that many people who looked like me when I was watching these videos. So I hope that I was able to help you out a little bit, get some awesome tips, and I hope you all stay very safe and very healthy. Thank you for watching. I know that I ended and wrapped up the video, but I felt like this was important and I need to say this. Colleges look for a well-rounded class. Even if you're the most well-rounded, perfect student, they might have other students who are doing the same things that you are, getting the same grades. So don't feel discouraged if you're doing everything right and you still don't get in. They're just looking for certain things in people, and it's very hard to predict what they're looking for. So with any of these colleges, if you don't get in, please know that college does not determine your personality. It doesn't define your life and your life's purpose. So please don't be too discouraged if you don't get into some of the schools that you want. I really thought that was important to know, that even if you're the most perfect student, the most well-rounded, the most like amazing person ever, some schools will still reject you, and it is what it is. Thank you for listening to that last bit.